Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Esty Besties podcast. Hello.
We are back.
Today is Boss Behavior with a special guest, an amazing entrepreneur, a woman who carries herself so well. She is an inspiration to a lot of people, and she's a really good friend of ours and an amazing client, Tess Adams. Yay!
This is going to be a really fun one. This is going to be a lot of big boss moves.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of tips in here. We're going to learn a lot about Tess today and everything that she does, everything from real estate to marketing. We're going to be talking about her definition of being a boss, confidence and carrying yourself, how to present yourself in a room. And I'm really excited.
I am too.
For today's episode. Yes.
Gets better and better every time.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get into it. We're going to bring Tess in and get it started.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, ladies.
Of course. Okay. So we are going to start by, as usual, just having Tess give a little intro kind of about yourself, what your career is, any background information that you're comfortable sharing, whatever. Just give us a little synopsis.
All right. Well, I have been a resident right here in Wilmington for the last 17 years. Which is exactly when I started my own business. And I raised my son here, and I have been right here in the heart of the city, which I like working with all business owners and other entrepreneurs. And I built my business around providing services for kind of like the underdogs of the community too, people that didn't have a resource, an affordable resource. And so I've really helped a lot of people build their businesses right here. And it's like a community, it's like having a family. And I love that. I really love that. I like that my son now can go around town and everyone knows that's
him.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's Tessa's son. And he's a little spoiled. If we ever move somewhere, he's gonna be like, I have to pay for my chicken tenders? Sorry, buddy, you do. If we, so here in Wilmington, you might not because your mom works.
He has all the connections.
Literally, he's very well connected 11-year-old. But I started out, I have a accounting degree from University of Maryland, and I used to work for a accounting firm here on Silverside Road when I first got out of college. I had gotten out of the military. I had Uncle Sam pay for my degree for me.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm actually a wounded veteran.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Miss Tess. What?
Yeah, but unfortunately, around that time that I was getting out of college and got my first post-college, my first big girl job, our economy was kind of crashing because, they let too many people get home loans that weren't really qualified.
Yep.
And so the accounting firm I worked for, we did the books for all small business owners, and a lot of them were heavy service-based industry, construction, real estate, developers. Big boys, yeah, but those big boys were hurting. Mm-hmm. So obviously when you're the last one hired, you're the first one fired or laid off. And they were like, sorry, Tess, you're lowest woman on the totem pole right now. So
Blessing in disguise, though. But
it was. So I said, well, that stinks. So I was unemployed for about 30 minutes.
I love that for you.
Yeah, so the clients that I had built a rapport with at the accounting firm, they knew that they paid their bill to Snyder and Company CPA, but it was Tess Adams that they were dealing with every day, and so they needed to save some money too. Obviously, getting rid of your accounting service is not the first thing you want to do, even when you're having financial issues. You want someone to be helping you manage that, and someone that's in that field that knows what they're talking about to still help you. Even if your money is a little bit now instead of a lot of it, you still need help managing that. So they were giving me calls on my personal cell phone and where did you go? And I'm like, well, I'm at home right now watching TV because I don't have a job. And they were like, well, can you do our books for a little less than the firm? And I said, well, shoot, I can do it for a lot of less because they're paying over $100 an hour for CPA services when really they just need a good bookkeeper and then maybe go see their CPA at the end of the year. Right. So I instantly started providing really valuable services at a more affordable rate, and I have some of those clients still today.
Wow. They love you for
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and to be 20-ish, 21-ish and making 55, $60 an hour is, I mean, especially back then. I don't want to give my age away too much,
amazing.
but back then that was a lot of money.
Yes. No, seriously. Wow, I love that.
So I've just grown. I've grown here. I'm really appreciative of the city of Wilmington. And Delaware is one of the best places to start a business. That's why so many large corporations have set up shop here. So, I mean, it was,
Right. So
It was a good move.
Yep. So when you were kind of recruited by those companies, were you considered like an independent at that point? Like, would you say that's like your first dive into kind of entrepreneurship, working for yourself?
Yeah, they forced me into it because I
Right.
didn't have an LLC set up. And the first year I started doing that, when I went to file my taxes, I was like, oh, no refund this year.
No, literally. I feel that heavily.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's going to hurt. And so somebody gave me advice, and they're like, well, if you're making this money as a sole proprietor, under your social, it was like, you need to open an LLC like stat. And I was like, you're right. So I started out as an LLC. A few years later, I'm an S corporation right now. So now because of the way I'm set up and the amount of money and having employees, I pay myself regularly so I can meet those S corp requirements for Uncle Sam and not get dinged. But yeah, it's been, so I've definitely grown into that, but it definitely started like it was.
You were literally like forced into it.
Yeah, and I mean, rightfully so. I mean, to be completely transparent. Well, yeah, I guess. And to be transparent, I don't do well being micromanaged or told what to do.
I think we all have that in common.
Yes, yeah. So even when I was in the military, like people say, Tess, you're in the military.
That is interesting.
And the reason why they say that is because they know me now. And they're like, you actually listen to someone? And I said, well, the one thing about me is I'll do whatever's necessary when it's necessary. So I will bite the bullet. I will, swallow my own little pride or ego if I know what the end goal is and what the big picture is going to be. So, yes, Tess can be told what to do.
It's calculated.
It is.
Calculated.
Yeah, for sure.
So what came first, the marketing firm or?
Yeah, it's like business services. I do a lot of marketing now, but it did start out with like straight boring accounting, bookkeeping services.
Yeah.
And then again, because of that time period, social media was just being born.
Right.
Oh.
There weren't business platforms at all yet for social media. I used to have 2 personal Facebook pages.
Okay.
This is really going to date me. I used MySpace for business.
For business.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I made 2 separate pages because there was no business.
Yeah,
but I wanted people to know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so
You were ahead of the curve.
I was ahead of it. Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I need them to see this though. And I wasn't a mom yet because I didn't have Aaron until I was 25. But at 21, 22 years old, I didn't have a lot of money to be paying for a large marketing company or this or that. So I learned how to do it myself. And I just used whatever resources I had. So yeah, I gave my business card out and talked to everyone about what I was doing, which is part of my secret sauce now.
Yeah.
I tell people that when I'm coaching, because now I have the consulting firm, and I have a real estate team, and I also am a pro coach for all newly licensed agents that come into Keller Williams, Philadelphia. So the first thing, and I beat it to death, is you're not having small talk with me without me telling you what I do for a living. If you're
It's part of your identity.
It is part of my identity,
Right.
and I'm gonna use every moment and take advantage of every moment I have in front of someone that I don't know to explain the different. I have a whole array of services. I can help you do something.
I can help you with something.
Exactly.
You do have that where it's like it's with us. It's like, okay, you might not want a facial, you might not want lashes, so it's not everyone can support you in your businesses.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I can do something for everyone.
Yeah, literally.
That's
or
amazing.
Point them in the right direction too, which is
Yes.
why I love building a network of other businesses like you guys. I don't tell anyone else. People say, I get a lot of compliments from Miranda doing my lashes, like a lot. And then I'm in Philly most of the time now. You know what I mean? Like a lot of my time is spent there. And so I think the only reason why you guys' door isn't beat down is because obviously the geographical distance. But, you know, when people do that, so me plugging in other businesses, that builds like some loyalty, that builds like a back and forth, you know what I mean? So when you build those relationships with other business owners and they're like, wow, she sends people here all the time. So if someone were to walk in here and be like, I don't know what to do with my life, I might like real estate. Miranda, I would bet money, she'd be like, oh, I know this girl, she coaches you.
Go.
She can put you in school for free, she can do that. So that is just like a natural back and forth that you develop as you're having these.
It's all about connections. And I love that you brought up, like, you're literally selling yourself, but you're also presenting opportunities to people that actually will help them, you know? And that was a topic that we kind of talked about in our last episode about how you present yourself as an entrepreneur out in public, because you're the face of your businesses. It's very important how you present yourself to others.
110%.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, what are some of the most important skills and qualities for success as a real estate agent specifically? Stuff that maybe some advice that you give your students off the bat, just some initial advice.
Yeah. One is you have to be organized.
Okay.
And this is like such a pain point for a lot of people, is when you're taking time to build any type of business, you need to be organized. You need to put systems in place. And in real estate, sometimes I realize that people, especially when I have these newly licensed agents that come, and even agents that have been in the business for a while and have reached a certain level of success and then they plateau, it's because they're missing this. And what this is every type of client needs a process. So if someone comes to me or someone on my team, the Tess Adams team, and they're like, can you help me sell my house? There's a process for that. Of course we can help you sell your house. There is a guide that we have. There is a flow of the transaction. Everyone gets like the same treatment. So I don't care.
Protocol.
It's a protocol, yeah. So I don't care if it's a $200,000 house or a $2 million house. We're getting professional photography done. We have our descriptions written a certain way. We get it listed. There's timing. But you need that set up so that I teach the system to everyone on the team and to all the newly licensed agents. So then they're just applying it.
Right. So everybody's on the same page too.
If someone calls me and they're like, hey, can you sell my house? And I just wing it every time. Then it's going to look different every time.
There's no consistency.
The French fries at McDonald's, no matter what McDonald's you go to, taste the same. Right. And that's why everyone likes McDonald's French fries.
Right.
So and they work, right? McDonald's been around forever and they make a lot of money off their French fries. So if you want that to apply to your business, especially in real estate, then your fries need to taste the same every time. The level of service, the follow-up, the taking care of your client after the sale.
Big too,
one thing that really is like one of my pet peeves in the real estate industry is that when an agent tends to reach a certain level of business, the first things they start to stop doing are things that are providing that extra customer service. Number one is they stop showing up to settlements with their clients. There's so many different things that can happen at the settlement table and so many questions that come up. It's literally the equivalent to, let's say you're in a long court case and then your day of sentencing, your lawyer doesn't show up with you.
Yeah, crazy.
Sheesh.
Crazy.
It literally irks my nerve. And again, it's something that I get criticism for. Tess, why are you making time to go to settlement? Because it's the most important part transaction.
This is like the show at the end of all the practice.
They're like, I don't go to settlement anymore, or da 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 da. I'm like, and that's why your client will be my client next year.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Period. So like it's, you can have assistants and people helping you throughout the transaction. Like I hire transaction coordinators. I'm not doing all that paperwork. I'm not running to the county and getting permits and da 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 da. I'm not doing that. Because I'm too busy for that, right? But I'm most certainly going to show up at settlement. And if you don't show up to settlement, you can't get those awesome settlement pictures and videos. And then
the content.
And further promote your business so you continue to grow. Like how dare you not show up for your client at the table? Are you kidding me right now? Oof. That's the first thing they do. And then they also stop following up with their clients post-settlement. So I sold your house. How about a couple weeks later? How's everything going?
Yeah.
How about an auto email goes out a year later saying, congratulations on your 1-year anniversary in your home. Yeah. How about every 6 months you send an email like, hey, if you or anyone you know needs to buy or sell real estate, please keep me in mind. If you don't stay top of mind.
And just use the email blast. It can't, come on,
listen,
people. Get with it.
I'm not unrealistic. I'm not picking up the phone. I barely pick up my phone.
Right.
But I have systems in place for that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So do you use any specific media sources that you love? Like Google Drive, Canva? Is there any that top of your head that you're like, I love these. These keep me.
Oh, well, Google is.
Love Google
G Suite is it.
Yes.
G Suite is it, bro. Yeah, G Suite is it. But I love Canva. I don't know where Canva was my whole life. When that came out, that has scaled my business. I mean, and because imagine guys like, I've had my business for 17 years. I don't know when they made Canva. It was quite a few years ago. It's like from Australia or something like that, but I didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
And I used to do everything by hand. I was using freaking Paint, guys. Paint program, Microsoft Paint to design people's logos and draw stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
believe it.
So I'm like super grateful for technology. But yeah, G Suite is definitely it. I mean, I use like QuickBooks for my accounting, and I keep it in the military. We used to say kiss it. It means keep it simple, stupid.
Kiss it.
I like that.
Kiss it.
I like that. You gotta keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Less is more.
Yeah. And that's why I'm thankful for all these media sources, the G Suite, the Canva, because it helps you keep it all together.
Yeah.
Even with accounting, like Mint, Intuit, those type of apps, you can check your spending categories, all that stuff. It's free for the most part, you know, but
it's worth an investment. It's a couple dollars. Yeah, because if you don't know your numbers in business, you're not in business.
Yes.
Your business is running you. You're not running your business. You have to know, like, you can ask me at any point, like, what are our stats? You know, what do we have? What's our volume right now? What do we have going on? Blah, blah, blah. And I can tell you.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly.
Right. Yeah, we utilize Canva for social media a lot with social media marketing.
Well, if you're in real estate and you're not on social media, you're not in real estate right now. You're getting left in the dust.
That was literally my next question.
That was what I was leading into.
No, that was the next question was, how do you use social media to advantage in your business? Because you are very active on social media. You tell all of your students to be active on social media. That's something you're really good at. You have 2 successful social media pages. Yeah. So how do you use it to your advantage?
I mean, you just have to use it. Yeah. You just literally have to use it. And I'm going to be honest, like, it wasn't until a couple weeks ago I did it's been a month ago now, but I did my first, I've always done a lot of videos, and you'll see me in videos like talking but no sound, or like I'm just there being cute or whatever. I'm showing a house or I'm doing an event. But I've never done a selfie video where I was actually talking in the video. I hate my voice. And it was so uncomfortable for me. But it's something I've been telling my students in the pro coaching program or the people on my team, like, guys, you need to go do this.
It's personable.
Man, leading by example, guys, is tough. So I had to break the seal, and I was over in the Keller Williams Fishtown office about a month ago, and I was waiting for a first-time home buyer to show up, and that office is super cute, and I felt super cute.
I was the video you're talking about.
Yes, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And then once I did it, now my level of no F's given, I'm like, record me in my PJs. I don't care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get over the one video, I promise you the nerves and the jitters go away. And
it gets easier.
I have a team. Like, that's a part of my real estate process too, is it's not just the real estate agent that gets you through the deal, right? You got to have a lender, you got to have a title person, etc. And I work very closely with my lender partner. I literally love them, and they're so supportive. They're supportive of Tess Adams, and then the Tess Adams team and the pro coaching and everything I do. But I use Go Magnum Loans, period.
Okay.
Period. Yes, period. And so they have a team member, and we had another business partner come in, and they asked me and one of their team members to do like this video to help promote their business. And the team member, he was like trying to do the video a million times, and I was like, let me just get this done because I got to go back to work. And so we did the video in one take. And so now there's a hashtag on his board in his office that says "one take Tess." And so I have been like very motivated by that. So I'm like, I'm gonna do this video. I'm gonna like it the first time. I don't care if I mess up a little bit.
I'm so hard to do.
Commit to it.
Yes, commit to it. Like, it's okay if it's not 100% perfect or whatever. There's always gonna be things you nitpick, and that's same with us with the podcast. Like, I'm editing it. It would be so easy for me to sit there. The first 2 episodes took me like 7-8 hours to edit because I was in every little thing. I'm like, oh, I said too many times. I did this.
Exactly.
Now I'm like, F it. That's the point.
Screw
of the
it.
whole,
Yeah.
It's being genuine.
I think there's something to be said for that, like, I'm human factor.
Yeah.
I mean,
shows.
People relate to it.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of AI and a lot of automated people calling us and answering the phone, or, you know, we need customer service and we got to talk to 50 robots before we get to a human. I think there's something to be said for having that human error and that quality and everything.
Agree.
So being very genuine and just committing to whatever it is you're trying to promote. But yeah, if you're not on social media in any business, but especially in real estate.
What are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? Because nobody knows.
It's free.
Yeah.
And what are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's so funny. as someone who works in both real estate and marketing, do you have any tips for estheticians or beauty entrepreneurs specifically to effectively market their business as far as like business services? Should you hire a business consultant, XYZ?
Yeah, I think that depending on that specific business owners or like salon owners, set of personal skills, always paying someone to even sit down and have a conversation and get your thoughts out or help get them organized is going to help you exponentially. It will help you instantly too. Because I know there's things where like I'm going to read something, write something, post something, and I'll say, Alex, listen to me for a second because I gotta say it out loud.
Yes.
And even she doesn't even need to respond or say anything sometimes. I'll just be reading it, and when I am reading it out loud and I know someone else is listening, it makes me correct myself or adjust things. And so I always think that getting consulting, whether it's a legitimate business consultant or partner or your employees or whatever you have going on, your clients, communicate with your clients. They're going to tell you what they need.
Yeah.
True.
You're not here to tell
important.
people what they need. You're service based. If you're in the beauty
You're
world,
serve.
you're here to serve.
Right.
You're in the beauty business. You're here to serve. You're here to make others feel great about themselves. And so the biggest thing with any marketing is consistency and having a realistic expectation of your return on the investment you're making. This happens a lot in the real estate world, and it might happen with you guys. We will pick one mode of marketing. Like, let's say they want to put door hangers out or they want to send postcards out. They spend $50, they send out 200 postcards, and then they just sit there. And they're like, I didn't get a phone call.
No, you need to get the energy rolling.
You have to
keep
get
the ball rolling.
It's about the touches. I always say, like, you have to touch a person so many times before you get that response or you get that sale. And there's like a lot of math and statistics behind that. So being consistent. And the other thing is too, which unfortunately this has to be said, you have to be genuine.
Yeah.
At your core, you have to be
be genuine. You have to really have a passion for what you're doing. Like, I couldn't be in the beauty world because the most I do with myself is brush my hair, and Miranda puts my lashes on for me. Thank God, because without my lashes, I look really plain Jane, and so. So I would not be successful doing what you guys do, but you guys are successful because the physical space that you've established and the customer service and the high quality services that you're providing, are what brings us back.
And it's because we have that passion behind it. That's exactly why.
The passion to give people an experience that they'll love.
You can 100%. You can tell when someone doesn't have passion. You know what I mean? It's very obvious.
Yeah,
if
they're
someone that's in it
miserable.
just for the money, whatever, you can tell.
Yeah, they're miserable. Their follow-up game is weak.
Yes.
Because they are in front of you in that moment, and they're like, are you going to give me what I want? Are you going to pay me? Are you going to buy a house with me? Are you going to get your lashes done? If not, okay, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, it's very quick.
There's going to be no repeat business. You're not establishing a relationship.
Correct.
Yeah,
and
no
you're not
loyalty,
selling yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't know who you are.
You're exactly right.
You got to give your personality and like be yourself 100%.
Exactly.
All right, Tess, another question we have for you. How do you think the beauty industry and the real estate industry intersect? And are there any specific opportunities that you think can arise from this intersection of both of our jobs?
I mean, I think that it's more than an intersection. I think that, and obviously more so for the women in real estate, you're a necessity.
Yeah.
And because, unfortunately, real estate agents are notorious for using the same profile photo and business card photo. And it's from 20 years ago.
Sheesh.
Maybe longer.
Right.
I forget what decade it was when those like Olin Mills glamour shots were going on.
I can like picture it right now.
Yeah. So there's female agents I see billboards, for Christ's sake, and all types of stuff.
Plastered on the highway.
Yes, and I'm like, that's from 82.
Like they
You
don't
can
look like that
pinpoint
anymore.
it.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's
that's
crazy.
literally 1982. And then what happens is, let's say you're online, you go on this website, Keller Williams, for example, and you're like, oh, she looks nice. She looks like a nice young lady. I want her to come help me sell my house. Because the fact is, right, wrong, or indifferent, if someone is moving to a new area and they don't know an agent, they don't know anyone in that area, they Google real estate agents in Wilmington, Delaware, and a gazillion things are going to pop up.
Right.
They're going to click on whatever websites first or has whatever office has the most reviews. They're going to go to that office roster, and then they're going to start looking at people's faces. Who looks nice to me? Who looks familiar to me? Who looks
Somebody
like
I can
me?
connect with.
Yeah, who can I? They're gonna
relate to.
Yeah, they might read like a couple lines of a bio and be like, "Oh, they like to ski. I like to ski. That guy can help me find a house." Like you don't know, so you're being judged off your face. Imagine being a young couple trying to move to Wilmington because you get a job at J.P. Morgan or something.
Yeah.
You go onto that office's website and you're like, "Oh, Mary Beth looks awesome. Let me call her." And then you go to meet her and she's 62.
Yeah.
And you thought you were going to meet
literally
someone your age.
catfished in the real estate
No, you
industry.
literally get real estate catfish.
You get real estate catfish. And now Mary Beth is probably a really seasoned, knowledgeable agent, and she's probably one of the best people to help you because she has all this experience. But people want to work with someone they can relate to and they trust to know like what they want. Mary Beth is going to be more like focused on the financial aspects and what is comfortable for her. And a 62-year-old woman doesn't live the same life that a young couple does.
Exactly.
So you're not equally yoked with this agent. And yes, you got real estate catfished. So no matter what age we are as women, we are beautiful in every decade and era of our life. Our looks change drastically, especially compared to men. So I feel that women in the real estate business, I mean, men can get facials and do stuff like that too, but I'm not talking about men today. It's Women's History Month, and I'm talking about my girls, okay? So specifically for women, like, you know, for us to keep our looks up and to keep ourselves looking presentable is super important. Yeah, that's where you guys come in. It's super important. I stay getting my lashes done because I know myself. I don't really know how to do makeup like that. I can get my hair together, but I want to look presentable. I don't want to look tired. I don't want to look like I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? So, and for me, popping some lashes on keeps you looking. I mean, I can literally roll out of bed and feel beautiful. Yeah. So it's not an intersection. They should be more reliant. And for people in the beauty industry, you need to be marketing to female real estate agents.
Right.
That should be part. I mean, first of all, there's thousands of us. Yeah. Secondly, they're in every single city and state and country, and they need you. Yeah. And if they don't know they need you, they will after they hear this podcast. And and it's your job as you're marketing yourself as, you know, an esthetician, a lash artist, nail artist, whatever you are, that this is so important for you because you are your brand in real estate. So let me help you enhance your brand.
Enhance. I love that word.
Yeah, and it's all about the professionalism aspect of it. Being able, as an esthetician, being able to cater to the professional client. So not doing crazy lashes, being able to do classics, hybrids, more subtle things. And if that's not your specialty, that's fine. If you want to go the big volume crazy, that's your lane, that's great. But we cater to the professional everyday life.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Exactly. Like that's those are the clients that we cater to. So that's exactly what we want to hear.
Absolutely. That's a good point.
So anyone that's listening to this, like, help as an esthetician, if you're trying to find your lane, I always go back to this. Know your ideal client. Know your ideal client and what their careers may be, what they, you know, their everyday lifestyle is like, so that you can cater to them.
Yeah, come up with a package just for a certain career field.
That's a good
so
idea.
Smart.
Yeah, there's certain, like, you know, I know that people in the medical industry can only have like certain length nails. They only have
we have a
certain
lot
colors.
of nurses.
Yeah,
we have a
nurses.
surgeon that comes here. And
So have a package set up just for that, like the beauty doctor.
The
There you
beauty
go.
doctor.
Take that and run with it. You know what
Next
I mean?
month,
Like,
you'll see it.
Launching.
Yeah, you know, you can have like your real estate pro package, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like be ready all the time, you know, like stuff like that. But just, knowing your lane and your niche is super important. And we do have that. I have that with my business, TA Management Consulting. I don't market myself to like Fortune 500 companies. I prefer and I want to work with the mom and pop shop on the corner. I want to work with the single mom who's starting her own hair salon or daycare in her home or lash company or what have you. My passion is not to help people that are already wealthy get more wealthy. My passion is to keep small business alive because that's what all of our, wherever you live, that's where your town, city, country was founded on and was entrepreneurs. Somebody had to do it first.
Yeah, I feel like that really defines what kind of boss you are too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. And that's a nice little segue into our next topic. So today's title is boss behavior. So I really want to hear what your definition of like a boss woman really is. And I'm really interested to hear it from you because you're somebody who is naturally extremely nurturing. You care about all of your clients, all of your coworkers, all of your students, like, and I feel like that's what really makes or breaks a really good boss. So I want to hear what's your definition?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I know that this boss term is used very loosely.
Yeah,
especially
these
nowadays
days.
too.
Right.
Oh man, and
It's
then
like boss, everyone's a boss.
everyone's a boss, and then we add these awesome derogatory terms after it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm a boss bee." I'm like, "You are a bee."
You sure
And yeah, and so, but no, in all seriousness, saying like the word boss almost makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And for me to just be very transparent because I don't want a boss.
yeah.
I don't want anybody bossing me. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot
You're
of
a leader.
I'm a leader. I do.
leader,
Yeah, but
yeah.
And, but you do have to have times when you are leading people. You have to boss them, or you do have to manage them, right? And you have moments. You have teaching moments. When there are mistakes made or poor decisions made, you do have these moments. And I'm always coming from a place of, yes, actually genuinely caring or love.
Yeah.
I don't have people on my team or that I work with that I can't interact with on that level. Right. I actually have to deal with a high level of criticism because, in a lot of business segments and in our business world, it's kind of cutthroat. Yeah, and the other thing is the way I am, it's a man's world.
I was about to say, especially being a woman in your
it is.
industry.
Yeah,
like,
both industries. I used to be the only woman all the time, especially in the accounting field. The first company I worked for, I was the youngest and I was the only female. When I was in the military, I was the only female engine mechanic in a 400-man squadron.
Wow.
Yeah, and
so
then
you're almost used to it, but it wasn't easy.
No, it's not easy. I was just dealing with what I call man problems. I'm single and I have more man problems than any girl with a husband or a boyfriend, I'll tell you right now, because I am in a very male dominated world all the time.
Right.
And because of the way that I choose to operate in business, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mesh. And a lot of men that I'm having to be a boss with in a moment, I don't come at them. I'm not cursing at them. I'm not going to get down on their level. I'm very much like momish. I'm like, I said what I said and I meant it.
Yep.
You can keep talking. I'm not changing my mind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that
You have
doesn't.
boundaries.
I do have boundaries, and it doesn't bode well. You know what I mean? And also, I refuse to give into the idea or notion that you can't like stand with 10 toes down and be genuine and have good intentions, like
And be kind.
Like there's never gonna be enough money that someone can offer me to do something in business to where I have to literally hurt someone else to do well in my business.
Stepping on other people's toes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because the way businesses run, I do fall short sometimes.
I was just about to say
No,
that.
100%.
Yeah.
I would be 10 times. I would have 10 times the amount of money in my bank account right now if I got on the level of everyone else I have to deal with every day.
Yeah, but then you have to go to sleep with all
I have
of
to
that.
go
with
to
all of
sleep
that
at night.
Weighing on
in your
you,
heart.
yeah.
You know what I mean? In order to become a millionaire, billionaire, anything, you almost have to be able to hurt people.
Yeah.
And that's like the harsh reality of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I don't even necessarily know if I want to get there. Like, obviously that would be great, but I don't want to do it if I have to hurt people and step on people and do that. I want to be genuine. I want to be kind. I want to help people. And if I can make $1 million in the process, great. But
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. I think it
has to be.
It is possible. I'm literally on a mission. I've come very close. I've worked really hard from a very young age, and I've made a great deal of money, especially considering my age, and accomplished a lot. And I'm like, even though because I have high standards for myself, I don't know if I'll ever say I did everything I wanted to. I don't know if that's possible for me.
I don't think anybody could.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be there, but in my mind, it is possible. It's just a lot more difficult.
Yeah,
It's all
it's more hurdles.
Bringing people up with you, I feel like, is really key to becoming successful, making all that money without hurting people. Instead of stepping on that person, give that person some advice. Bring them
an
up with you.
opportunity.
Bring them to the table, you know?
Right. That's exactly it.
Yeah, 110%. But yeah, it is. It's very much it's still a man's world.
It sure
absolutely
is.
is.
The only difference is it's interesting for us. It's a woman's world in our
industry.
This is one of the few industries where it's completely female dominated.
Yeah.
You know, so it's interesting to hear that as well, because we don't really have to deal with as much of that. And I haven't really thought about that before. Now we don't really have to deal with a lot of male opinion,
Right.
you know, in our.
But your clients do.
Exactly. They
clients
husband,
do.
look,
Yeah.
the amount of women that come in here and they
don't
come
want
in
you
there
to
like,
do this.
look, I need to go from a volume to a classic because my husband said it's too much. I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you have, you kind of already touched on this, but do you have any other tips for women who are in leadership? Bryn is owner of her own business.
Right.
I'm the manager here. We have people around us, you know, that look up to us for leadership. Do you have any other tips in general? Like,
What I will say, because I notice it a lot, is if you are a woman in business, and even though you're in a female-dominated industry, when you go to apply for a loan, when you go to grow, when you go to interact with other business owners, or if you're in a situation where you are the only female in the room, don't ever break character as far as you being that boss and you being that owner. Be very confident.
yes.
And also, it's so easy when you get in a situation where you're uncomfortable or you feel like you're being like beat up a little bit in a room or in the boardroom or whatever. The victim role is not it.
Never.
And, you know, trying to play a role or like to gain sympathy of some sort.
Yeah.
I think that even if in the moment you don't feel like your point was heard or you're not being respected in the moment while you're voicing your opinion or asking for what you want and they don't give it to you, if you stand again with 10 toes down, your head up high, you're confident, and you are being reasonable and intelligent with what you're talking about and what you're asking for, when you leave that room, those men are going to have more respect for you.
Yes.
Yeah, and then your next conversation will be completely different.
Yeah,
So-
once you establish
That's a good
that
point.
respect, it's good from there, but it's hard to actually get that respect.
Yeah,
in the
and
first
as a
place.
woman, like, I know that, like, listen, I'm all about equality and stuff like that, but I'm also realistic. We aren't equal yet. We're not there yet. I don't know if we ever will be.
Yeah.
Right?
It
So don't
maybe
fool
not.
yourself into thinking that you can rap back and forth with a man or get on that level or get into a cursing match with a man in business or anything like that. You're never going to win.
Yeah.
You're never going to win that. So having that mentality is only going to hurt you. Knowing that you are a woman and you're in your lane and just making sure that you are correct about everything that you're saying and that you're very justified in the things that you're asking for. Like, you know, the reality is we have to do extra work to do that. So fighting that is not going to get you what you need. You need to be the neck and turn the head.
Yeah. Being taken serious in a room is very difficult. But as a female leader, what do you have a specific experience on what has been your most significant barrier in your career?
Yeah.
By being taken seriously in a room.
I don't want to like sound like super arrogant, but being a beautiful woman in business
That's just facts.
is a curse.
They talk about yeah, this is a whole topic.
You're about to say the PP, which is pretty privilege.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
let me tell you how being a beautiful woman has definitely got me at boardroom tables or being offered opportunities. But if you think for 2 seconds that as soon as I signed that paper, there wasn't an offer of something I didn't want no parts of after, or that when I didn't do everything they thought was going to happen,
They pull that contract right away.
They try
whatever.
to pull your card. Like, yeah, we gave you this opportunity, and I'm just going to say it. If you're not going to go on a date with me, have dinner with me, or sleep with me, this opportunity is not there for you anymore. And let me tell you, ladies, that you will always lose that game. The moment you might have that instant gratification, or you might get a couple dollars up front.
Right.
You will lose at the end of the day. The moment
Big.
that your moral compass goes south, you're gonna lose. There's literally not enough money in the world, and you will lose that opportunity because the man is always going to have that over us.
You're exactly right.
And I know that a lot of women are going to hear this and be like, no, it's 2023.
Like, I'm going to use him. I'm going to get my way to the top. I'm going to use him, blah, blah, blah.
You're still losing. You're losing
Yes.
because your name will not be brought up in a positive light.
Right.
Yeah, they have the control at the end of the day.
Giving them more control, if anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, you literally give them more control. You have a moment where you feel like you have some kind of control or leverage. The moment you give in, you just lost all your leverage.
Yeah. It's out the window.
It's the harsh reality.
It's out the window. It's just what it is. So you have to make a decision every day about who you are as a woman, what your boundaries are, and what you really want. Some women, that's great. There's someone out here that are running these men's pockets, and they live in condos and are driving, Benz, and if that's the life you want, that's
Good
great. And
for
I'm
them.
not judging.
Good for them.
Oh yeah,
Right,
there's
right.
I'm zero judgment over here.
Yeah.
But I also am a single mom with an 11-year-old little boy, and he would be really disappointed and embarrassed if little boys at school were like, "Hey, your mom, da 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 da."
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think about this all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to choose the life you want, the reputation you want, and trying to fight the system and to battle with men, it's just not gonna work out for you.
Yeah, there's certain fights that are worth fighting. There's certain fights that it's better to just walk away from. Honestly,
literally. I've had to give up all kinds of financial opportunities. Like I said, I would be 10 times richer.
Yeah. It is what it is.
I'm not compromising.
Yeah, no. And that's why you are where you are. And that's why you will get to where you will get to is because of the fact that you are going to stand on your ethics, stand on your morals, and stand on your goals and your self, self-fulfilling.
Yeah, and the confidence that you hold. Seriously, I feel like...
Yeah, you have a lot of confidence.
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
Do you have any tips for people that are struggling with confidence? Because I know a ton of girls, like I even look at where I was a year ago, 2 years ago today. I am nowhere compared to where I am now. Like, building confidence is so hard, and I don't know how I would necessarily give advice on it.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas on how to verbally give advice?
Yeah, I mean, a couple things. One, knowing your craft or your field and making sure you're highly educated on it will naturally build your confidence, because when you're having a conversation about something, you, like, even if someone tries to have a debate with you on it, you know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I will, if you ever see me like legitimately arguing with someone, which I don't really like to do, it's because I am 1000% that I know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
If you see me quiet and there's something going on, it's because I'm not 1000% sure, and I'm not going to make a fool of myself.
Yes, it's
Sure,
calculated.
if you are a lash artist and you know everything about lashes, I don't know anything about lashes, so I'm not having a conversation, but like whatever types of fibers can be used, the lengths of them, what looks best on different face shapes and sizes, et cetera, you know what they do for a living and what's going to be appropriate for their craft. Like, you're going to naturally feel very confident about the advice you're giving, the things you're doing. When it comes to getting up in the morning and just feeling confident in yourself as
like physically confident.
being physically confident, that's different for everyone. I am a little bit of a weirdo. I feel more confident when I'm like a little bit chunky and got some meat on my bones. I call it my fighting weight. I feel like if I'm too skinny, I don't stand a chance in the fight. If I have some meat on my bones, then if I have to literally fight, I feel like I'm at my fighting weight. So I eat what I want. I do complain, don't get me wrong. I'm like, oh, these Spanx are so tight. Jeez. Yeah. But
of course.
Yeah, but like for me, and that's different. Some women prefer to be super thin. Other women want to be, thickety thick. That's why BBLs are crazy right now. You know what I mean?
And that's fine. Again, per person.
It's
what
per
do
person.
you want?
You gotta be confident and choose. You have to make decisions. Where we mess up as women is before we leave our house, we don't have our mind made up. We don't know where our moral compass is. We don't necessarily take time to sit down and say, what are my boundaries? What are my morals? What are my ethics? Like, that's a conversation you have to have with yourself.
You're exactly
And that's going to change. I grew up in a very culturally and religious diverse situation. So I had the privileged to seeing all different types of things, hearing all different types of opinions, seeing different beliefs, having the best food, not for nothing, but
different cultural beauty standards.
Yeah,
too.
and cultural beauty. You know what I mean? So I was able to determine what was right for me and what's made me feel confident every day. And you have to do the things for yourself. You cannot worry about what you look like, what you sound like, what your nails are, what your hair is, what your lashes are. It cannot be for anyone else except for yourself. I don't care what your husband says. I don't care what the girls in your classroom are saying. I don't care what the other nurses are doing at the hospital. Like, you have to be happy and confident with yourself and do everything for yourself first. Because if you don't, you literally will be chasing that thing called happiness forever.
Look, say it again for the people in the back.
You literally have to do it for yourself. I'm single. I don't get up and get cute for anybody.
Except for you.
Except for me.
And that's something I had to realize is like, I don't have to get cute every day. There's no, like, I have my own business. I can come as I am and people will still pay me, but I need to do it for myself. I need to feel good. I need to feel cute. Yeah. If I get out of, the days just go totally different on the days where you feel cute and the days you don't.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, totally different days. I might have a different attitude. I might send my emails a little differently, you know, not to a major extent, not to a noticeable extent, but to me, I know I'm acting different.
Listen, Tess with the sweats and the hoodie and the hair in a ponytail is not even Tess anymore. I call her Trina. I might care a little less. I might care a little less when you see me like that. Yeah, it's like my alter ego. Yes. It is, and Trina comes out when necessary. You know what I mean? So like,
I think you should have that. I think everyone should have a little alter ego.
I mean, it's like very necessary, because if I'm dressed nice and professional, then yes, I'm gonna act nice and professional. And if I'm in my fight clothes, I'm in my fight clothes.
Yeah, there
like,
you go.
You know what I mean?
It is what it is. For sure. Yeah, I love that.
So what do you do to fill up your cup? Because you spend your entire career pouring into others. So what do you do to fill yourself back up for your self-care?
I like self-care Sundays.
Oh, I love Sundays. Yes.
I like self-care Sundays because, I mean, I can work 70 some hours a week, you know?
Yeah.
And, or always be working, like from the time my eyes open till I go to bed at night. But I like bath time. I like to put herbs in my bath. I'm a rose petal essential oil.
You're a big holistic self-care.
Very
All
much
the
so.
tips, I've literally gotten so much advice from you, from the magnesium citrate to the different teas. And you're like taking care of me.
Yeah. I very much, I mean, I love, I do. Well, the other thing is too is, like I said, I grew up in a very like diverse families. And also, guys, I grew up poor. We did not have anything when I was growing up, and my family on both sides like very much immigrants. So we didn't have health insurance unless I broke a bone or was like looking like I was gonna die. I went to the emergency room. We didn't have primary care. What's a primary care physician?
Right.
I don't know what that is. So and I was also raised by my grandparents. Okay. Right. So I mean, my parents were around, but heavy, like being taken care of by my grandparents.
Right.
So, and mind you, on the one side of my family, my grandparents were 72 when I was 14.
Oh, okay.
So
that was
when I was sick, she would literally go in the backyard, grab a couple herbs, get some ginger, whatever. When I tell you ginger will cure everything in your life,
I believe that.
Depending on how it's applied and how you use it, it literally does.
Ginger is that girl.
Ginger is that girl. And honey is like the most medicinal thing on the planet. Like, honey doesn't go bad. So if a substance...
Antibacterial.
Yeah, if a substance literally cannot rot or go bad, what do you think that's doing for you when you put it in your body?
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, having an understanding, I mean, we have so many like advances and so much technology with medicine. And I know it's like very necessary, but I truly believe that if you're as like natural as you can be from RIP, you don't necessarily need all that.
Yeah, utilizing nature.
Yeah, my son's
aligned with us.
I have homemade antibiotics at my house. Yeah. And some people were like, what? My son doesn't go to the doctor.
As far as like your life, do what you believe is better. Like, I cannot stand the judgment of holistic versus like medical versus Western medicine. I can't stand it. Like, just do what you believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, whatever is good for you. But if you ask me what I do and I tell you, then I'm like, well, I do believe in God, right? So I think that this earth was made with literally everything we need to survive. And it's just, again, educating yourself. So I can speak very confidently about this right now because no matter what your doctor says or this or that, I literally use it and apply it, and it literally works.
In real life.
In real life. So you can't tell me that something's not good or doesn't work when I literally
you have the results.
I have the results.
Right.
Experiments done. And I'm not anti-medicine. Like when it comes
No, of
to,
course not.
I mean, like I said, I'm a wounded veteran. If we didn't have doctors and they didn't like get the bullet out of me, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Right.
Exactly. You got to be like able to pull from both sides.
Both ends.
I support it all. So.
Yes. I love it.
Love to hear it. And I know another way you like to spend self-care is, of course, with us.
Oh, yeah. I
Your
literally
leisurely hour
love
and
it
a
here.
half that you lay down and you literally just get like some peace and quiet.
Oh, that's my
and you vibe
therapy.
with the music and we chat a little bit and then you check out and you have beautiful lashes.
Yeah, it's the best.
I love that form of self-care.
You're a busy woman, so
Yeah.
for you
Oh, and
to
I make
have
the
that-
time.
Exactly, you make the time, but it also
Yes.
saves you time on your day-to-day basis of not only the confidence that it can bring you, but also just the professionalism, the appearance, all that stuff. It just takes time off of your day. You don't have to worry about getting up in the morning and doing your makeup.
Yeah, no. And I literally couldn't
Yeah.
every day. I mean, I might not go to bed till 2:00 in the morning. I'm still gotta get up at 5:30.
Right.
Who looks cute after 3.5 hours of sleep?
True.
I do, because
You
my
sure
lashes.
do. Sure do.
And it's not for nothing, it's the girl time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta spend that girly
Yeah.
time.
I
with
tell
yourself.
her that the longest amount of time that I just sit still and I'm not on my phone or on the computer or talking about work is sitting here with Miranda.
Yeah. So many of our clients tell us that, and it just makes me so happy.
It just it makes me happy too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lastly, we like to ask all of our people at home, do you have an unwinding ritual? Like when you get from the workplace to the home, what's the best way for you to turn your brain off?
Yeah, the few moments I do that, which is usually kind of late at night. But first of all, I need everyone in my house to be asleep.
Yeah.
I need my solitude.
Right.
I don't want anyone talking to me, saying mom. I take care of my mother. She's handicapped, so I take care of my mother and my son. And I have a little dog. I need all of them to be in their respective rooms and asleep. And I put on, it's going to make you guys laugh, I like the most ratchet reality whatever
Like
TV
Zeus.
show, like whatever, like Real Housewives me up, you know, loving hip hop me all night. Okay, like I wanna watch like other
so
people's problems.
To make you not think anything about yours.
And I am a Scotch drinker and a red wine drinker.
Okay.
So I definitely like to not look at my phone, put my little ratchet reality on,
Right.
have my little glass of whatever. And PJs in my robe are a must. Hair in a messy bun is a must.
Yeah.
And I just check out for half an hour to 45 minutes.
Love it.
That's just
Easy enough.
That's good.
yeah.
And it works for you.
Yeah, I don't get to do it enough. I'm not gonna lie, but that is like a complete brain reset for me. I'll fall asleep after that, wake up the next morning, and I'm ready
You're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Well, we are going to challenge you to the next time we see you. It's for you to give yourself a full self-care day if you can. If it's a Sunday, we're going to challenge you to do a face mask. You need to give yourself a day. You need to give
Thank
yourself.
God that it's you guys challenging me, because where else am I gonna do all that besides here?
I'm like, it's a Sunday.
Yeah, I'm like, and I'll just make an appointment. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Awesome.
Well, that was amazing, Tess. You gave us so much good information. You're always so fun to talk to. You know we love you here. And let's give a little plug for all of our social medias. You want to start? Give your Instagram.
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So at your RE team for my real estate team, it's at Call TAMC for my management consulting firm. And then if you're just nosy and want to check me out personally, I'm the Tess Momster. So it's Momster, like monster, but Tess Momster. And it's literally, I have like the most G-rated social media ever. It's literally me, my kid, Alexandra, who's my right-hand woman in life, and I like cannot. She's literally also part of my secret sauce. So you will see her all over the page, and she assists me with the pro coaching program. She's a real estate agent on my team, and she first started working with me through my TA management consulting. She's director of operations for there now. Amazing. So like it's literally all that. So don't go there looking for anything, you know.
Anything
Spicy.
crazy.
Anything. It's not spicy. It is I'm very much a mom, like I said. Like I'm very much a mom, very mom forward. personally and professionally. That's just the way I approach
That's who
things.
you are.
You carry yourself that way.
I can only be me.
Exactly.
I can only be me.
And that's
Love
why
it.
we love you.
Yes. And then, per usual, I am at MKM Beauty Bar.
And I am at D Corsi Beauty Lounge and then at D Corsi Beauty. And again, make sure you guys check out our TikTok at Esty Besties podcast to get some first looks and clips. We haven't said this before, but if you guys are tuning in on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, make sure you guys try to go and turn on your automatic download so that it will download automatically for you so that every episode goes straight to your phone. You don't have to do all that extra steps.
Correct. So, per usual, we're going to pull a little affirmation card just so we can start our day off right, or night, depending on what time you're listening to this. And I'm going to have Miss Tess pick for us.
Cool.
Let's make it a good one.
Cute. Yeah.
This one is calling to me for some reason.
What'd she say?
Ooh. My existence makes the world shine brighter. I could not have picked it
That
That is true.
That's cute.
I love
That
I
is
could
true.
shed a tear right now.
Stop. I love it.
That's amazing.
That was meant for you.
It was.
Perfect
That's
way to
crazy.
end our episode. This is episode 6.
Episode 6.
Perfect way to end episode 6. Thank you again, Tess,
thanks
for
you. Thank
coming. You are absolutely the
This was
best.
lovely.
I hope you had fun. This was your first podcast, right?
This is my very first podcast. I hope you guys have me again. This was
Oh,
fun.
we will. We'll
Oh,
spin the block.
absolutely.
Okay, we will spin the block. Wrap around.
Wrap around.
All right. Well, we love you guys. We hope you guys have the best rest of your day, and we will catch you in another 2 weeks.
Yep, sounds good.
See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.